In the last lesson, we learned about Word 2016's built-in templates and how we can create documents based on already perfectly formatted pre-existing templates. We saw how to access templates by category from online, as well as how to scan through a group of templates and select the desired template document we want to use to create a new document and open it in our text area for customization. In the previous lesson, we also learned some things about the save function and using the browse feature to tell Word the location on the computer where we want our document to be saved. When we left off in the previous lesson, we had just saved our first document, which we created from an online template and saved in a location on the computer in the Library folder under Documents with the name Word Training Exercise 1, which we noted as we recalled seeing the name in the title bar area as we returned to the document editing environment just after saving the exercise. Now as we continue on instructing you in using the save function, we will pick up right where we left off with our document, Word Training Exercise 1, we just saved already on the screen. Let's now go back to the File tab, where I will share with you some key elements in dealing with files and saving them. First off, you already know that if you try closing a file or exiting Word and have edited a document but did not save it, Word will give you a dialog box, as demonstrated in Lesson 1 of this section of the course, asking you if you want to save the document. You can replay that segment for a refresher on that process at any point to familiarize yourself again with that dialog box. For now, I want you to focus on the left panel of the File tab menu and the two options on it where you have one for Save and another for Save As. You might be asking yourself, what is the difference between the Save option and the Save As option? Immediately in response to that question, I say that the Save option, as you see highlighted here, as opposed to the Save As option below it, doesn't give any options on the right panel when you click it. And also, the Save feature alone does not ask any questions or give you any dialog boxes to respond to or window to browse. As an exception to the rule, you will only see options to select from on the right panel when you use the Save function if you use it with a newly created document, which has never been saved before, such as the document 1 we saved earlier in our exercise. In our exercise, remember, we clicked the Save icon, but you noticed we were taken to the Save As panel on the File tab menu instead of executing the Save function as Word normally does. Under normal instances, the Save function will not take you to the Save As panel, only if you select Save in a newly created unsaved document, as I've said. The Save option only immediately saves the document in the current text area, using its already pre-designated name and pre-designated location, updating the file contents on the computer with what is currently in the Word environment, asking no questions, overriding whatever the former contents were under that file name at the particular location the file is stored. The Save option on the File tab is the same function performed when we just clicked the Save icon on the Quick Access toolbar. Clicking that icon bypasses the menu and just updates the file on disk, no questions asked. So the Save function is often used periodically while editing a document to update and save the revisions to disk quickly and continue editing in the event of system or document crash or failure. Therefore, important to note here is that in Word, a document in the document editing area or text area when modified is not updated on disk or permanent storage device until instructed by the user by issuing the Save command, either from the File tab menu option or most often the Quick Access toolbar. And take note also that in the case where a modified document is attempted to be closed and has not been saved, Word displays a dialog box informing the user the document has not been saved and prompts the user to make a choice to save the modifications, cancel the modifications, or ignore the closed document request. In our previous demonstrations of using the Save icon, which is the same as going to the File tab and clicking the Save option, we got, instead of the normal Update to Disk and Return to the Text area with no questions, menus, and/or dialog box, we got the Save As File tab menu option instead. And as I instructed you, this was only because we had not saved the document previously and given it a name. Now our document already has a name, which you can see here in the title bar. It has the name we have given it, Word Training Exercise 1. If you take a look at the document and read through it, you will see that it is an authorization to use a child's image and that there is a blank in the paragraph where the child's name should be entered to customize this template for a particular child in question. We will now do a basic edit of this paragraph to reflect the child's name. So, move your pointer using your mouse, and when the mouse is on the line in the location where the name should be typed, click the right mouse button. When we click the right mouse button, we see that our pointer turns into a flashing vertical line. This flashing vertical line is called our cursor. The cursor indicates the current position or point of entry or insertion of text or objects. Should we type or enter them, or should we begin to press the delete key or perhaps select text for formatting or editing? Right now, we will use the cursor arrows on the keyboard to get familiar with getting around in the document text area by moving up and down to the left and to the right. You can also use the page up and page down keys on the keyboard to move around the document in the text area. When you have played around a little with the navigation keys on the keyboard, go to the blank in the first paragraph of our exercise by right-clicking the mouse pointer on the beginning of the blank where there are underlines, or you can do this by using your cursor arrows. You will know when you are at the right position to type in the child's name for our exercise when you see your cursor pointing and blinking at the beginning of the blank we want to edit and replace with our child's name, as you see here. So, as I'm doing here, you see the flashing cursor, which indicates where the point of entry of my keystroke typing will be. And as I'm typing in the child's name, you see that I'm editing the paragraph in our exercise. Now, to fix this edit, because you see that as I typed the name, it was inserted, moving the underscore blanks over to the right. So before I update my document, saving it again, I need to get rid of the extra underlines here after the name. So I can just press, as you see here, the delete key on the keyboard with my cursor, pointing to the particular underline character I want to delete. So I press the delete key a few more times, and as you see here, and there you are, that's it. I have a media authorization letter for my child already customized and edited. I didn't have to compose the letter because everything is already in the template. No need for formatting, I only had to put in the name. Now I'm ready to save the edited document in the text area to disk for permanent storage. And remember, in Word, modifications to a file are not permanently saved to their storage location until a save instruction or command is issued. So let's do that now. By first clicking on the File tab, we get the Backstage view, where we do everything to a file that we don't do in a file, and click on the Save option on the left panel. Once we have clicked on the Save option, you see now that we are returned to our document. No questions asked, no dialog boxes, etc. Our document modification is now saved and we are returned to the document. We alternatively could have just clicked the Save icon on the Quick Access toolbar while we were in the document text area and bypass the File tab altogether, as is often done to update already previously saved documents to disk as I instructed you earlier. If we were to close the document at this point, Word would just close it, no questions asked. But if we make changes and try to close it without saving the modification, we would get a dialog box, as I'll demonstrate quickly. I changed the name to another child's name. This time, instead of saving, by going to the File tab menu and selecting Save, or using the Quick Access toolbar Save icon, I decided to just go to the File tab and select Close, as you see here. And remember, again, here you see, as I've told you, Word's dialog box. prompting you to save edits before close, cancel edits before close, or cancel the close operation altogether and return to the Word editing environment with the modified document still in the text area. Let's save the document, keeping the modifications by clicking Save Document. Our document has been updated and permanently saved to disk and closed. Now we're back in the Word environment with a blank document in the text area. You now have a good understanding of the Save function on the File tab menu. We will learn how to use the Save As feature of Word and how it differs from the Save feature in the next lesson, as well as working with and saving files in different file type formats using the Save As and Open functions as we progress. This concludes this lesson. Continue on with us as we go on to finish this segment of the course.